I was wondering if you could answer a couple questions for me regarding cooperating teachers.
I'm glad to try.
Thank you. What would you say to a teacher thinking about becoming a cooperative teacher? The importance of a cooperating teacher.
Well, the cooperating teachers are the ones who are shaping the future of the profession, and introducing the students to the realities of teaching, both challenges and rewards. And so it's a really important role, and I regret in some places people ask around and say, well, who's got time? But it should be an honor to be chosen to be a cooperating teacher, because it's such an important job in terms of influencing the future of the profession.
Yeah, it certainly is. What characteristics should a cooperating teacher possess?
Oh, mostly sort of interpersonal skills well, first of all, even before that, a teacher who is reflective about his or her own practice and can analyze what they do in light of the results with students. And I don't mean just test results, but I mean, does a lesson work with students? Are they engaged? Do they ask good questions? Do they want to continue the work on their own? But not every teacher is skilled at being reflective about their own practice in that sort of way. So it seems to me that a cooperating teacher, my ideal cooperating teacher, is someone who is first of all reflective about his or her own teaching and can communicate those things to a novice, a student teacher, and then can help that novice teacher acquire some of those same reflective skills. And so you want a cooperating teacher who can explain what they're doing and why, and then can help the student teacher examine his or her own instructional decisions in light of their effect on students. And so it's interpersonal skills then about how to have those conversations with someone just learning to teach. And if I were doing it, I would also urge student teachers to bring in any teaching experience they've had, if they've been a babysitter, if they've been a swimming teacher, a camp counselor, a religious education teacher,
Sure.
and pull in what they know and reflect on those experiences in light of what we want kids to learn in school.
I think also a cooperating teacher what needs to possess is a good understanding of the framework as well.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What other strategies or skills should a cooperating teacher use or teach to a student teacher, in your opinion?
Well, that's a very good question. I do think there is a kind of a developmental continuum in the components of the framework, domains, first of all. And I do think that when people are learning to teach, they sort of have to start with domain 2.
Right.
Establish the environment, first of all, just making sure things work, that the routines and procedures are clear and well understood, that the behavior expectations are understood, and that students have helped contribute to those, that and then that the interactions are not only cordial but warm and trusting,
Right.
between teacher and students and among students. So I think domain 2 is the place to start. And then, of course, you have to get into domain 3 and engagement, and I do think that it's a lot to ask of most teachers to also design all of their own lessons.
Right.
That's domain 1, and you of course design lessons in light of the students you have and the learning outcomes you want. But it strikes me that there's a real role for well-developed instructional materials that are even commercially available or available online. With a really good lesson that somebody else has developed, you still have to examine it carefully to see how to modify it for this group of students.
Right.
And so there's that work to be done. But so I would start with domain 2, and then move into domain 3 as supported by domain 1, and then domain 4 is typically the last one that student teachers experience, just because a lot of it you'd only start doing when you are the teacher of record.
Yeah. What would you say would be a non-negotiable on the part of a cooperating teacher?
in terms of their own skills.
Yes.
Well, it's a good question. I don't have a clear answer to it. I think I would care a lot that somebody is a learner, continues to be a learner as a teacher, and wanting to learn more, and would be open to the possibility they might learn something from this student teacher. They're not just telling them what to do.
Right.
And it seems to me that if somebody has that kind of a general worldview and mindset, that also is conveyed to the student teacher, that this is part of the job, is to continue to learn, because it's really complex work and nobody's ever perfect at it.
Right.
And so I think the attitude that we want to discourage among student teachers is, I just have to learn some tricks and do them, and that it's, you know, it's not like driving a car. Well, even driving a car involves a lot of decision making, sometimes quickly.
Right.
And so, but it's less like driving a car than it is like, I don't know, being an orchestra conductor or something. That is, it's a lot of complex thinking as a teacher, and you're never done. That is, you don't figure out a way to teach and then do that for your whole career, because that evolves too as the students' challenges change, and as communities have a lot of immigrant students, for example, who come in with their own diverse cultural experiences. Those are resources to be used and to integrate into the life of the classroom and so on. So I think an attitude of ongoing learning, if I was going to say one thing, would be one.
Well, I'd like to thank Charlotte for taking the time and talking to us, and I know that teachers at School District U46 will appreciate having, you know, having this interview and time to hear Charlotte speak. Thank you very much. Thank you again.
Okay, and